now we do end up Smart Means Business this particular week on the 27th of January by looking at our weekly topics of discussion here with Barije Andrew, who is back on set to give us more of the highlights of the week and what we did cover here on Smart 24's SMB. Andrew, you're good to go again. What made your week this particular time around?
Well, I remember, on ground we've had quite lots of topics, to discuss. I mean, it's been some kind of interesting aspect. Well, and of course, I cannot deny the fact that we went ahead to look into the auditing aspect, as we got to understand following the Auditor General's report, which included certain irregularities in terms of doing that follow-up, most especially with the with the SACCO money, distribution, realizing that actually some of the SACCOs that received money were not real, were fake. So as a result, we had to, get in touch with an auditor to give us an insight regarding that. But then it was just giving advice on how best government should actually audit their books regularly to avoid such irregularities. And one of the major concerns that we are putting across was the fact that government should also be in position in terms of involving the private sector when it comes to the auditing aspect, very like contracting different private companies. And sometimes there is fear that what if the books that you put out there are being influenced in a certain way, but there is an act that protects those personnel that are responsible for carrying out that particular task. Yeah. So that was something very interesting. Auditing, I don't know, Jerome, what you think about that aspect. The business
and
auditing.
Of course, when you look at some businesses in Uganda, a few of them do the auditing. Most of them do an internal audit because you're a business person, you want to do an audit, you want to do a balance sheet or kind of situation for you to at least do stock taking. Some people do stock taking at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But the issue to do with auditing, especially in our business, in Uganda, it is something not many people are so much interested in. But for the formal businesses, there is actually a situation where most of the people do both internal and then also bring in an external auditor who comes in to at least summarize and sum up everything that has been discussed, or everything that has been found out within the entire team.
Yeah.
So ideally, I do believe auditing is something that every business person should think of because it's just an evaluation.
Yeah.
It's just like trying to get back to the drawing board to see how your business has been performing and all of these details put together.
Okay. Well, very interesting. Now, away from that, we still went further to look into the innovation aspect. I got in touch with an innovator, and one of the topics we're discussing is that why is it that our innovations really solving society challenges that we put across right there? Me being a tech person that I love really technology, I reach out to so many innovators out there. But the most aspect that I really try to investigate is what they're doing, really solving society's challenges. So the discussion was on that. I got in touch with an innovator, and we discussed quite lots of things. But then his major concern regarding this was the aspect of regulation. Most especially those that are into the fintech sector that are innovating, financially, whereby for them, they feel like the responsible regulators are seeing them as a competition. For example, banks. If I come up like with my innovation and it's really working very perfect, I know I've tested it, it's working out and it's having the results. A regulator will see me and they're going to ask me, the first thing they're going to ask me is, do you have a license that allows you to operate? And yet remember, some of these are young innovators, just startups. They may not be in position to afford a license. But instead, why don't you sit me down, tell me, okay, how can I help you, achieve this? How can I help you get your license much more better? Because in that way, we are in position to actually build the economy, because what I'm doing is benefiting the economy. You never know. The companies that we see currently at Silicon Valley and multi-billion-dollar companies. And now, if we be in Uganda and such innovations are being frustrated, then what is the fate of this country when it comes to the technological advancement? Well, that was one of the concerns that the innovator really put out there, his main concerns when it comes to the tech world. But then, also, at the other aspect, this now was going back to the innovators. It's beyond just being comfortable, like, hey, I can innovate and I put up something and it's really working well. Somebody told me that the time we test your innovation is when the problem really comes.
Oh.
Is it reliable?
Is it reliable during that particular problem that you made it for?
Exactly. And that was something like it should go beyond excitement. So that means there should be a priority. The innovators should be taught the sectors of where they can prioritize in terms of innovations. And one of the sectors currently today, which I can say that is viable and reliable when it comes to innovations, is the agriculture sector.
Oh, okay.
Lots of innovations in there can really be, discovered right there. So, Joram, what's your take on that?
I want to believe it's something that you should be. We as Ugandans, for example, innovation, the world of innovation, tech especially, I think it's high time we try to harmonize these kind of situations and try to help and support. I believe in the world of innovation, it is more of the support still needed because we've got a lot of high innovators in Uganda.
Yeah.
The young men with skills, young women with skills, it's all about supporting them and of course trying to at least give them the support that they need, facilities and equipment mainly.
Okay, very, very interesting. Well, now away from that, we are still having the discussion. We went down to see the importation substitution policy, and I went down to one of the trade leaders, a spokesperson to the traders downtown, and of course we are trying to look at its impact when it comes to business. Remember, majority of the commodities that are being sold by the traders in downtown, they are actually imported materials. When you get to observe that, and now the reason that's why they don't stock so much of of local is because the local products are expensive. And why are they expensive? It comes back to the taxation. These people are highly taxed. There are not really enough incentives. So at the end of the day, they're going to charge. So that means when the trader is buying this particular item to sell it to the shop, it's going to be very expensive. Now, the traders now are put in a place of confusion. Like instead of confusion, what are we going to do if you say doing the import substitution strategy? Yet these commodities are very, very, very expensive, to attain. But then still, when I was talking to the trade leader and I told him, okay, now what should they do? And it was like they should have knowledge about, before they should do research. Like, for example, if you say you're going to import a certain commodity from another country, before you really go to and take that initiative to import it, have you tried to calculate the tax value? What if actually what you're going to purchase is even much more cheaper in Uganda? From the local manufacturer. It's something coming back to the traders to really get acquainted with the right information regarding that aspect. But however much this policy might seem a little, kind of making them feel uncomfortable, let me say that, like feeling that discomfort in a way of sort. So I don't know what you think about that, Joram. What's your take on import substitution strategy? Do you really think it's right? Based on the circumstances, looking at the conditions in which the local manufacturers actually operate in Uganda.
The local manufacturers, for example, those who are mainly local, or you could say local investors, some of them, one of the key challenges that they're having, or some of the things that they're facing here, is unfair competition. They target to unfair competition.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. And then it goes back to, for example, those. Now let's look at also the traders who import goods from abroad to Uganda. Now for them, their other challenge that they have is the taxation.
Oh yeah, very true.
Very, very, which is a very huge hindrance to the type of situation. For example, last year when we had the taxes on textiles,
exactly,
they actually went on to strike because of the same matter. Because you realize, however much the government wants them to support the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda policies, there are some goods that need to be imported into the country.
Very true.
But then as we're importing, they do believe the government should as well put a fair charge on these particular imported goods.
Yeah, because even you see some of the products which are imported are adding value onto the local products which are manufactured, which, if we talk about the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, some of the imported materials are adding actually value to the products of the local manufacturers. Not necessarily that all of them are like that. Every imported product is more of a finished product for consumption. You know, there is value added to that. So that explains why they should be, of course, can I say, revising this policy to ensure that it doesn't really affect would-be stakeholders. Well, now away from that, Joram, we still went down to look into the aspect of the leadership function amongst the youth. You know, today I've come to realize that most businesses, most especially, you know, like Uganda being a country that business startups on a daily basis, of course, and it's on record, you know, startup daily, but not very many actually are in position to see their first birthday. But then as we are trying to look into this business, why is it so? And actually, even before we get there, majority of these startups are made by the youths. Now, we realize that leadership, the aspect of leadership is very important in business, and it's like the foundation of the business, and it will determine how far the business will go. You know, Joram, you could be having these ideas, you know, you have this vision of your company, but do you have the ability to transform your vision to your employees? You know, I think that's one of the defining factors that has defined the companies that have developed to a certain extent. You know, can I say companies which have really grown, which have existed for centuries? I mean, stretch back to the years and look into the life of the vision bearers. Okay. You know, you find that these people were actually very determined. They had these aspects, and they were very aggressive in terms of influencing the people. Because remember, you cannot do this alone. I mean, you need a group of people to be with you, to work with you, to cooperate with you. So, but that is only going to be achieved with your ability to transform your vision. Make them believe in you that you can actually make it, Joram. What's your aspect on that? You probably, what do you think of that? The vision, I mean the ability to, as a leader.
You see, some of the key writings in here clearly bring out the advantage that sometimes we have to live by believing in ourselves first.
Very true.
As individuals. And when it comes to the world of business, again, it is rotating around the self-belief. Well, of course, every other person is coming in to give you their own opinion and all that, but the belief in yourself says a lot about it.
Okay, very, very, very important. But also, I came to realize that there are also aspects somebody can actually, you know, like they say leaders are born, some leaders are born, some are made. I don't want to really make it something, but still you can train yourself to actually be influential and a leader, to lead a team to reach somewhere. And, you know, the vision will be achieved at the end of the day. Then, Joram, as we wind up, there is something trending lately in the tech sector, and we being a business channel, there is no way we can not talk about this. The chat GPT technology.
That is actually taking every other person by storm.
Exactly. Revolutionary. I mean, this artificial intelligence, which was updated with information from 10 years back till 2021. So that means starting from 2011 or even before 2011. But as far as I know, the information I got, it's 10 years back. And you know, majority of the people are scared that this might lead to some people to lose jobs. But those still some innovators say no, it's here to make life easy.
Okay.
Now I was even surprised that actually this very technology can code. I mean, developers have been building codes from scratch, but now they can actually consult ChatGPT and they get, you know, they get a code. I mean, isn't that really amazing regarding that? And it's making a lot of work much more easy. Lots of industries are transforming, and now we see Microsoft is coming in to invest $1 billion. No, sorry, about $10 billion, you know, into the ChatGPT. And with time, I believe it's going to be more made real time, whereby you can actually, it can even know events which are happening in your country that very day. Like let me say today, and you know, you're like, what's happening in Uganda, and it's able to tell you everything. And it's still undergoing development. It took 10 years as they're trying to train this intelligence, this AI machine to reason like human beings. It studied the characters of human beings. It knows how humans react. That's why when you when you're requesting for something, it's going to reply back to you like a human person. Well, that's quite something very trendy and very transformational, not only in the tech sector, but also the global society, but most important, the business aspect around.
Oh, okay. And of course, that is one of the key trends that Beridian has been trying to break down for us, for the chat GPT, which can ideally be of good importance. Just like he says, it's more of an artificial intelligence that can help you out if you have issues with your, for example, you're trying to send a CV, you're trying to create a proposal and all those things. You can easily use it as a guide or an assistant, personal assistant that you can use in there. But of course, that is it for what we did have for you this entire week. You should as well know that yesterday was the National Liberation Day, where the NRM government was as well celebrating 37 years of rule in the country. But besides that, out of here, as we are only left with 11 minutes to go out of till 10 a.m. I am Jordan Paulson, coming with Barija Andrew here, and he will be bringing you the latest in technology tonight in FAPS, that is at Smart Tech at 8. Then tonight in Farm Smart at 7 with Chris Hamantitaka, you get to realize more about chicken farming in the country and how best you can earn from it. So that is a lot more of coming in regards to our daily programming today. It's a Friday, the 27th of January, 2022. But as we are signing out, do remember to invest in government bonds, and you can use a platform that is provided by Altex East Africa, which is Zabu. Zabu is making it very possible for you. Use the USSD code *292#, grow your investments today. And of course, with just a minimum of 15,000 Uganda shillings, you can roll those investments. Zabu's markets open at 8:15 a.m. and do close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. And that is for Zabu as well. Zabu, my money, my future. Altex East Africa, do something new. And as we're signing out, what you need to know is that what is coming up is Financial Markets with Anthony Sebali. Have a good day and a wonderful weekend ahead of you. Till Monday, good morning.